What you manifest in your mind, you can bring to reality.
Guess what, everybody? Jonah Hill made a movie. He wrote and he directed a movie. It's called Mid-90s. It is out right now. Probably not a huge release. It is not a big budget film. It is what I constantly refer to as an independent movie. Whether I'm accurately identifying or describing movies as such, it has that feel, very much a feel of independent movie, and I love this movie. I love this movie for just a lot of reasons, right? I enjoy the aesthetic of an independent movie where it's giving you a dose of life from somebody. There's no just, it's not like a blockbuster movie where, it's got the big swelling of sound and like it forces down your throat that you should be emotional right now. It follows a 13-year-old kid, mid-90s. Me, 94. I was 13, mid-90s. Do I say any more? This kid's in L.A. I grew up in Southern California. Very similar aesthetic. The Palm Springs area and L.A. Weather, very similar. A little bit hotter out here. Skateboarding also culturally something that kind of had a boom in the 90s, it seemed like. Tony Hawk did his fucking... 5,000 off of the thing. X Games was kind of a new thing. I think that was more a little bit late 90s, but still mid 90s. The Generation X, Mountain Dew, bro. So I love this movie. I love the aesthetic of it. I love the acting. I love the dirtbag kids that are in this movie. I love that this movie made an old couple walk out. They were like 3/4 of the way done with this movie, and I could tell it's just, the dialogue that these kids have is the dialogue that kids would have in the mid-90s who are, that party all the time, that ride skateboards, that are kind of the degenerate kids that get together and hang out at a skate shop, and, they don't have parents that enjoy them. Reference the documentary that I talked about, Minding the Gap. Very, very good. Would make for a great double feature with this movie. I would put this one maybe after Minding the Gap. But, you get this kind of the same group of people, same group of kids in a lot of ways with these kids in mid-90s. So you're following this kid, and he wants to be cool, so he gets a skateboard, and it's a shitty skateboard, it's the thing that parents don't understand when, their kid gets into skateboarding. I had it when I got into skateboarding, where your parent just kind of gives you just a cheap fucking toy that looks like a skateboard. The wheels are shit, the trucks are shit. It's the whole board is really not very good. So this kid starts out the same way, where he's just obsessed with it, and it's that kind of lifestyle where you're a kid and you're just kind of, video games weren't that big then. Being outside was kind of something that kids did a lot, and skateboarding is something you could do. It's a form of transportation. It's also challenging to learn new tricks, challenging to ride. I never got that deep into skateboarding. I had a skateboard. I love skateboarding, but never got into tricks. I was kind of out in the suburbs where there's not a whole lot of places to ride. The streets really suck for riding skateboards. So I never really got into it as much as I had a passion for at the time. I just didn't have the access to places to skate. But yeah, I just enjoyed this movie. I enjoyed this movie so much. Like I said, the acting's great. It has a feel of the movie Kids, if you've seen that. Now, that movie is definitely a lot harder. There's rape. Dude rapes a chick who has AIDS. It's a very hard movie, Kids. But it has that kind of feel to it. It has that realness, has that grit to it. And it's about this kid who finds new friends. Mom, of course, doesn't like these new friends. But it's just following this kid in a time of his life where he's kind of evolving from a child into an adult in a lot of ways. There's no real rite of passage in our culture. Nobody goes on walkabouts. We don't have to go out and hunt or, smear blood, eat liver, eat heart. Like, there's no real ritual for growing up in our society. So this kind of follows a kid at 13, kind of going through an almost self-imposed ritual of, going out and partying, drinking, doing drugs. And I didn't do that. I was a late bloomer with all the partying and stuff. I had a friend in around that time, and we'd hang out all the time, but it wasn't like I didn't have a group of friends like this. So it's kind of something that I've always seen from the outside. It's almost like those movies where there's a family and they all get along. It's like, I don't really know what that's like, but I can understand that that's a reality people have. So it's, this is kind of that movie where it's a group of friends, and it's a lot of fun to hang out with that group of friends and see just how stupid kids are. Just so stupid. It's like we are so stupid. Even like in my 20s, even in my 30s, I'm almost 40 now. But it's like I just do stupid shit. And you think life is like a thing, and then you're wrong. You're wrong about everything. But at least he's having fun, and I enjoyed the movie. So I am like Jonah Hill, like so many people. Like we had this year, we had A Star Is Born, which is Bradley Cooper's directorial debut, and we had this movie from Jonah Hill. Jonah Hill, exponentially better director in my opinion. Although A Star Is Born direction-wise was good. I almost wish he had done the Queen movie Bohemian Rhapsody instead of A Star Is Born. But this, it's just, you can tell that he has a visual style. He's an artist, man. You could tell that he cares about this shit. And he's not just doing it to, like, cash in on the 90s nostalgia, even though technically it is. But there's a lot of people that aren't going to like it. Hence, the old people that walked out during the movie. That made my day to watch those people walk out. Because I knew I was in the right theater. And they thought they were going to see something else. They thought they were going to see A Star Is Born type of movie. And they got some real shit. And they couldn't handle it. Because they're, retired old people that are just in the valley parts of the year. And they don't want to like actually believe that like poor kids exist and like grow up like that and speak like that. Like they don't want to think that poverty is something that's real, that they should actually be concerned about, because they live in their nice homes, plural, probably drive their nice cars, plural, have their nice giant family, everything's good. I'm sure their lives are horrible, but they live in a secluded bubble. Mid-90s. Go watch it, everybody. When it comes out on VOD, support it. If you're into like those things, if you're into skateboarding, like if you're not into skateboarding, also go check out Minding the Gap. Good documentary on Hulu. That's it for this episode, everybody. It was a blast watching this movie. It was so much fun to watch it, and I hope you enjoy watching it as well. You can check out all of my work at inspireddisorder.com. It's where you can buy this shirt also. Big sales coming up for the holidays, so keep an eye out on that. InspiredDisorder.com, like I said, for everything. At Ray Taylor for me, everywhere. And if you want to binge the show, Patreon.com/InspiredDisorder. But you know all that. Have a great day. You know everything, and I appreciate it. Have a great day. Peace out!